Oh, wow.
Should we go chat somewhere where there's no rain?
Sí.
Maybe a few cervezas?
Okay. ¿Por qué no?
Bueno, pasen, vamos.
Parker visited a gold mining site known for its eco-friendly approach that avoids using mercury. For several days, he watched as they carefully extracted gold from the earth, keeping the environment safe. They took the gold from the ground, then dried and melted it down without damaging nature around them. But what if this green method reveals darker truths beneath the shining surface? Join us to uncover the full story behind Parker's gold extraction success. Exploring mercury-free mining. From the moment he arrived, Parker was struck by the sight of shiny gold being gathered without the dangerous impacts of mercury. This not only proved that sustainable mining was possible, but also that the gold was of impressive purity. As the miners explained their process, Parker became more and more impressed by the care and precision they put into each step. By the time Parker visited, the site had been running for 3 days, and the results were clear. The process was not only eco-friendly, but also very efficient, producing a lot of gold. The larger gold nuggets that the miners showed Parker were particularly dazzling, proving the success and potential of mercury-free mining. The mining operation had a productivity rate of more than an ounce of gold per hour. Parker found this rate comparable to, if not better than, his experiences in the Yukon, where the tough conditions like permafrost made mining more complicated and expensive.
Their excavator to load the trucks with that particular material. That material is full of clay. Clay is very sticky, and usually...
Parker's curiosity about their techniques grew, and he decided to come back the next day to learn more. The miners were excited to share their knowledge, especially about their hard rock prospecting strategies. This method involved drilling into solid rock to find deeper gold deposits, a technique not often used by placer miners in the Yukon. It was a new and thrilling challenge for Parker to explore. The friendly nature of the miners and their eagerness to share their expertise made Parker's visit extremely enjoyable. He noted this experience as one of his best at a gold mine, largely due to the miners' innovative and welcoming approach. Their skills in mining and their pioneering methods, which balanced efficiency with environmental care, left a strong impression on him. Parker's interest in their work was so intense that he thought about spending a few months working with the miners. He wanted to learn more about hard rock mining and possibly use these eco-friendly methods in his own work. The success of the mercury-free operation opened Parker's eyes to new possibilities in gold mining, potentially setting a new standard for the industry.
I thought everybody knew how to dig pay, but there are round rock everywhere. Like, I shouldn't have to walk the floor and find like yards of rock.
This journey into eco-friendly mining showed a way to achieve both environmental sustainability and economic profitability in gold mining, changing how the industry could approach gold extraction. But this wasn't the worst part. As Parker reflected on his time at the site, he realized that the potential for these methods to revolutionize the industry was immense. The miners' willingness to innovate and their commitment to the environment made a significant impact on him. This experience not only broadened his understanding of gold mining, but also inspired him to think about how he could implement these techniques in his own operations. The idea of mercury-free mining seemed to be more than just a dream. The tangible results Parker witnessed were proof that it could be a reality. He saw the miners working with dedication, ensuring that each step was as efficient and environmentally friendly as possible. This approach not only produced high-quality gold, but also protected the ecosystem around the mining site. Parker couldn't help but think about the broader implications of these methods. If more mining operations adopted such techniques, the environmental damage caused by gold mining could be significantly reduced. This thought motivated him to learn as much as he could from the miners and to share these insights with others in the industry.
We got offered a piece of ground by the Fitzgeralds in northern Queensland. All right, perfect. I'm glad we ended up here.
Yeah, me too.
The miners' openness to teaching Parker their methods made him feel like he was part of something bigger. He felt a sense of responsibility to take what he had learned and apply it to his own work. The idea of combining efficiency with environmental care was something that resonated deeply with him, and he wanted to be a part of this positive change in the industry. But this wasn't the worst part. Parker realized that the challenge of spreading these methods across the industry would be significant. There were many established practices that would need to be changed, and convincing others to adopt new techniques would not be easy. However, the success he saw at the site gave him hope. If he could show others the benefits of these methods, both in terms of productivity and environmental impact, he believed that change was possible. As Parker prepared to leave the site, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. He was determined to continue learning about eco-friendly mining and to advocate for these practices in the industry. The journey had not only been insightful, but also transformative, giving him new tools and perspectives to bring to his work. Parker moves from eco-friendly mining to a new challenge, extracting gold high up in the mountains. The challenges of extracting gold at 5,000 meters. Parker found himself deep inside a high-altitude mine, over 5,000 meters above sea level. The thin air made breathing hard, but the excitement of seeing gold extraction up close kept him going. The miners, used to the conditions, moved easily through the caves. Parker admired their familiarity with the tough environment, surrounded by hard, cold rock and the promise of gold. Before starting their work, the miners performed a traditional ritual for good luck and to show respect for the land. Parker found this very touching. They placed coca leaves in the crevices of the rocks, blending ancient customs with modern mining. Parker joined in, placing 3 leaves in the rock and chewing some, embracing the local traditions that mixed well with the hard work of mining. The goal was clear: get a significant amount of gold from a specific section of the rock face. The miners used hand drills to make a network of holes, each 4 feet deep. These holes would be filled with explosives, 150 grams each, setting up a controlled but powerful blast aimed at a rich vein of gold. As they explained the process to Parker, the excitement grew. He learned how to handle the drill, feeling its power as it cut into the solid rock. The noise echoed around them. Setting the explosives was a high-stakes task. Parker and a miner named Danny loaded the wall with enough explosives to clear a big section.
And the conquistadores, the Spaniards,
Yeah.
came here and took tons of gold.
Really?
From this area, yes.
They planned to ignite the explosives with a lighter, a method new to Parker, adding a raw edge to the process. They had 3 minutes to get out safely after lighting the fuse, so they walked quickly but calmly to avoid any accidents. The tension was high as the fuse burned. A mistake in timing could be dangerous, but the experienced miners moved with precision. The thought of extracting 5 ounces of gold, worth nearly $7,500, made the danger worth it. But this wasn't the worst part. After the explosion, the impact was clear. The blast sound echoed through the mine, showing their efforts and precision. Relief mixed with thrill as they saw the potential gold they had uncovered. This moment of high tension and success was unlike anything Parker had experienced, making it one of the most exciting times in his mining career. Nearby, another miner named Geronimo used a different ancient technique. He was building a riffle in the river to capture gold, using methods passed down from the Incas. This traditional way involves stacking rocks to slow the water, letting gold settle between the stones. Watching Geronimo, Parker was amazed by the continued use of ancient knowledge in the quest for gold, connecting the past with the present. Parker's time in the mine was a mix of old traditions and modern techniques, cultural respect, and tough industrial work. The day was full of learning and hands-on challenges, giving him a deep appreciation for the miner's skills and the long history of gold mining. This adventure in the world's highest mine was not just about getting gold, but also about respecting the land and its history.
Well, taking it, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, like 12 lighters then, and 12 guys all light at the same time.
No.
Well, what happens when you light the first one and that goes off before you've lit the last one?
A strong reminder of human ingenuity in the quest for wealth from the earth. But this wasn't the only challenge. Working at such a high altitude took a toll on Parker's body. The thin air and physical exertion left him exhausted. Yet the determination and energy of the miners inspired him to keep pushing through. They worked tirelessly, driven by the hope of striking gold and the necessity of supporting their families. This relentless drive was something Parker deeply respected. During a break, Parker spoke with some of the miners, learning about their lives and the hardships they faced. Many had been working in mines for years, some even starting as children. The harsh conditions and the risks they took daily were daunting, yet they carried on with a sense of pride and purpose. Parker felt humbled by their stories and their unwavering commitment to their work. In the afternoon, Parker tried his hand at panning for gold in a nearby stream. The process was simple, but required patience and skill. He scooped up gravel and swirled it in a pan, letting the lighter materials wash away. As he repeated this process, tiny flecks of gold began to appear. It was a slow and painstaking method, but finding those small pieces of gold felt incredibly rewarding. As the day ended, Parker reflected on the miners' daily reality. The physical and mental demands of their work were immense. They faced dangers from collapsing tunnels, toxic gases, and the ever-present risk of accidents. Despite these hazards, they remained dedicated to their job, finding a sense of community and shared purpose in their work.
In the Yukon, when we do this, we just walk an excavator up to the plant, hold it under the sluice runs, catch an excavator bucket full of dirt.
Later, Parker found himself in the middle of an old-school hydraulic mining operation. This method used the power of water to uncover gold hidden in the rocks. For Parker, who was used to modern mining techniques, this was a new and exciting experience. As rainwater seeped into the rocky cracks, it carried the promise of gold. Enrique, a third-generation miner, collected this sediment through a sluice box, affectionately called the rock box. Enrique and his siblings had been mining near King's Mill for over 50 years. Their operation, one of the largest in the area, showed their family's dedication to gold mining. They had moved from traditional panning to using an excavator, which made their work faster and more efficient. This new machine confirmed they were in a gold-rich area, giving the whole team a sense of confidence. As Enrique showed Parker around their expanded operation, the excitement was clear. Although they had only been using the new equipment for a month, they were already getting about an ounce of gold daily. They playfully called these small, chunky flakes Sherpas. Parker was curious about how to make the operation even better, so he tried using the excavator himself. Holding the controls, he felt the weight of responsibility, hoping he wouldn't mess up their carefully balanced setup.
We're gonna go down to Guyana and we're gonna learn how the locals mine, like just skeleton crew, no fancy equipment, get down and dirty. It's the adventure of a lifetime.
With each scoop, the operation found a new rhythm, moving deeper into the heart of Madre de Dios. Here they worked around the clock with a small but efficient crew. The whole operation ran on water with a simple yet effective system. Water sucked up the material and pumped it into the sluice box. This box was set 20 feet deep into the ground, making it stable and good at catching gold. The miners had built a handmade suction dredge, working like an underwater vacuum to reach the gold-rich gravel at the river's bottom. But this wasn't the only challenge. Parker admired their homemade technology. They thought the sluice box could be narrower to increase water flow and catch more gold. Their setup mixed creativity and practicality, using parts like a car brake caliper and a bike chain hooked to an extra pulley. Despite worries about government interference, they handled the risks with a calm acceptance. Parker was also moved by the cultural richness of the place. The mining process was full of tradition and community. Every tool and technique had a story, often tied to historical practices and the natural environment. They used vines for ropes and bamboo stakes to support their sluice setup, showing a deep connection to their surroundings. As they worked, Parker and the miners wondered about the area's untapped potential. Frequent floods hinted at more gold upstream, suggesting the landscape had secrets revealed by natural changes. Using simple but effective tools, they created a mining operation that was as much about community as it was about finding gold. The days spent with Enrique and his family gave Parker insights into innovative mining practices and a deeper appreciation of how tradition and environment shaped their work. It reminded him of the lasting appeal of gold mining, blending the thrill of discovery with the steady rewards of hard work. Their operation might have been small and powered by simple machines and labor, but their spirit of innovation and resilience made it significant. Parker saw that the miners faced many challenges like harsh weather and the constant threat of floods. Yet they pushed through these difficulties with determination and resourcefulness. This resilience showed Parker that mining was not just about technology, but also about the spirit and dedication of the people involved.
The
family and taking on a challenge. You know, last fall, I think that's why he was so stoked about what we were doing.
Parker learned a lot from the miners' resourcefulness. They adapted to their environment and used whatever was available to keep their operation running. This practical approach, combined with their deep respect for tradition, made a lasting impression on him. He realized that there was much more to mining than just extracting gold. It was about maintaining a balance with nature and respecting the history and culture of the place. But this wasn't the hardest part. The physical demands of mining took a toll on everyone involved. The long hours, tough conditions, and manual labor were exhausting. Yet the miners' passion for their work kept them going. Their dedication and perseverance inspired Parker, showing him the true spirit of mining. Now Parker tests the wash plant to see how much gold they can actually recover. A day of judgment at the wash plant. Parker and his team were at the end of their workday at the wash plant, processing the last truckload of pay dirt from a deep mining pit. They were filled with anticipation. Parker and his friend Diego had put in a lot of time, effort, and money into this project. The outcome of this load was crucial. As the time came to start washing the mats, which are important for gold recovery, Parker asked Diego if he was nervous. Diego replied with a sense of anxious anticipation, remembering past disappointments of empty loads. Their conversation was short but filled with hope that this time would be different. The cost of running the operation came up, reminding them of the ongoing financial challenges of mining. Parker, who had seen many mining setups, found the expenses here reasonable.
I'm a bit conflicted because we could stay in one place here and actually learn the place and know what's going on. Or we can take the time to pack up and move, and it's just eats into the time that we have. It's just not super clear cut for me.
This was a small comfort amidst the larger financial risks they were taking. As they began cleaning up, the first signs of gold appeared. Parker's eyes lit up when he saw a sizable nugget among the smaller particles. A good sign. But the true measure of success would come from the overall yield. They had hit bedrock in the mining site, which had shown promise in earlier tests. However, the uneven distribution of gold kept their hopes cautious. With excitement and careful planning, Parker suggested setting up a mini trommel to test the efficiency of their current wash plant operations managed by Conseco. This meant reprocessing the tailings, the discarded material, to see if any gold was missed. Parker knew that finding a lot of gold in the tailings could mean there were problems with Conseco's recovery processes. As they set up the trommel, Parker dreamed about the mining site being as rich as the Yukon, a famous gold-rich region. The idea of finding a new gold-rich land was exciting, but they needed to carefully check their current operations first. Their method involved manually collecting samples from the sluice box to prevent losing any gold-laden material. This task was hard and messy. Parker and his team used buckets to collect the runoff, an important part of their strategy to measure the gold recovery rate accurately. But this wasn't the only challenge. Parker noticed that the local miners were skilled, but their technology was basic compared to what he used in the Yukon. There, gold losses were usually less than 5%. Here, the miners estimated their recovery rate at about 60 to 70%. Parker was determined to help improve this. The day dragged on, and the work was tough. Parker and his team manually handled heavy buckets of tailings. The physical labor was intense, especially with the high stakes involved. Each bucket processed through the trommel was a step towards understanding the efficiency of the wash plant and whether it was worth investing more in this operation. Parker wasn't just supervising.
The pit's huge, but this mill, I've never seen so many pipes, so much cable, and so many tanks going in every possible direction.
He was actively working alongside the miners. This earned him quiet respect from the local workers. They watched with a mix of curiosity and concern as this outsider got deeply involved in their work. Parker's dedication to understanding every detail of the operation showed his belief that successful mining was about technique, technology, perseverance, and hard work. As the day ended, the atmosphere was tense but hopeful. The final analysis of the tailings would show how much gold was being lost and whether the operation could succeed like those in the Yukon. Parker, always an optimist but realistic from experience, remained cautiously hopeful. This venture into new territory was a huge learning experience, pushing him out of his comfort zone and offering insights and challenges that would shape his future as a miner. Parker's efforts raise a question. Can traditional mining techniques compete with modern technology? Like, comment, and subscribe to share your thoughts and join the discussion.